I'm talking now.
Okay.
Listen to me. Is your true name and your complete name Shayna Marie Blackshire?
The court lacked jurisdiction over the subject matter.
What is your date of birth?
The court lacked jurisdiction over the subject matter.
The court will accept the court, based upon a verdict by the guilty in this case.
The court lacked jurisdiction over personal addiction.
As a result of a jury trial, the court finds the defendant is guilty in CR 22209.
Here the judge lays down the foundation. Shayna Marie Blackshire isn't just facing one charge. This is multiple felonies across 2 cases. You can feel how formal and cold this moment is. It's the kind of opening that tells you this sentencing is going to be long and serious.
The date of the offense was on or about February 5th, 2022. Judgment of the court that she's guilty of count 5, resisting arrest, a class 6 felony in violation of ARS 132508, A1, 13701, 702, and 13801. The date of the offense was on or about February 5, 2020.
Excuse me, advisor. Why is they allowed to do such things?
2022. The offenses are non-dangerous and non-repetitive.
As the list of charges piles up, burglary, resisting arrest, fleeing police, you start to see a pattern. This isn't just one bad night. It's a string of decisions that's finally catching up to her. The court's patience is already thin.
I don't want to participate in this. Y'all have to let me go.
Mr. Wagner, do you want to be heard on behalf of the state?
I do, Your Honor.
Out of here. I refuse to proceed.
And if the victims wish to be heard, we have victims here in the courtroom. A victim, I think, I'm not sure.
No, Your Honor. She's outlasted the victims.
She's outlasted the victim. Do you wish to be heard?
The victims have had to return back to their homes in Oregon, and they're not here, which is a detriment to them. They had as much a right to be here as she did for sentencing, but she is her own attorney, and she's drugged us out long enough that the victims aren't here to give a statement today.
Right, so y'all can't do that. Y'all cannot force me. Y'all can't sentence me like this.
Ms. Blackshire, I believe that these are repetitive and that she should be subject to the Category 2 repetitive offender statutes.
This is one of the hardest parts to watch. The victims wanted to be here but couldn't, and the prosecutor basically says Shayna's delays made that happen. Even without them in the room, their absence is a powerful statement about how justice delayed can also feel like justice denied.
Not only did she commit these crimes separately from the other crimes, these crimes significantly, especially the burglary, I believe substantially affected the victim. The victim, the owner of the property at Morningstar Ranch. Yes, she was burglarized before. No real property was taken from there. As you heard, you sat through both trials. But in this case, in this burglary here, count...
Let me out of here. I don't have to proceed with this. Move. I don't have to.
Count 4, Your Honor.
Let me out now.
The defendant confronted the victim at her home and has substantially affected the way that...
The burglary wasn't just about property, it was about fear. The victim at Morningstar Ranch now feels unsafe in her own home. You can almost hear the weight of that trauma in the prosecutor's voice. This is where the human cost of crime becomes real.
Proposes sentence as follows. As to count 1, unlawful flight, a Class 5 felony, the court, as I said, finds the offense to be non-repetitive, non-dangerous. The court imposes the presumptive term of 1.5 years in the Arizona Department of Corrections. The court imposes an additional 2 years sentencing enhancement because this offense was committed while the defendant was on pretrial release, and that's pursuant to ARS 13708D. So the total sentence as to count 1, Class 5 felony, is 3.5 years. As to count 2, this is the misdemeanor criminal damage. The court imposes a sentence of time served. As to count 4, again, the court finds this to be non-dangerous and non-repetitive. This is burglary in the second degree, Class 3 felony. The court imposes the presumptive term of 3.5 years. The court also imposes the sentencing enhancement pursuant to 13708D of 2 years, So the total offense level, the total sentence for count 4 is 5.5.
Here's the hammer dropping: years in prison plus enhancements for crimes committed while on release. This is a rare moment where the court explicitly says, "We gave you a chance."
Sentence imposed on counts 1 and 5 are to run concurrent with each other. That is the unlawful flight and the resisting arrest. The sentences in counts 1 and 5 are to run concurrent with each other. The sentence imposed on counts 1 and 5 are to run consecutive to the sentence imposed on count 4, which was 5.5 years as to burglary in the second degree. So the sentence imposed on counts 1 and 5 is to run consecutive to count 4.
It's not just punishment, it's a message to the public. Clip 6. This part is pure courtroom chess. Concurrent versus consecutive sentences. The way the judge stacks these terms decides how many total years she'll serve. It's a glimpse into the quiet power judges have to shape someone's entire future.
Whether you wish to address the court, you've clearly indicated you're not capable of doing that and following the rules of the court. You have the right to appeal the judgment of the court. If you wish to appeal, you must file a written notice of your intent to appeal, and you must do that within 15 days of today's date. Otherwise, you will lose that right. Ms. Blackshire, do you wish the court to appoint an attorney to represent you on the appeal? No, he will not be representing you on the appeal. Do you wish to have an attorney appointed to represent you on the appeal? If you cannot afford to pay one, the court will pay the costs of an attorney to represent you on appeal. That will include the costs of the lawyer's legal fees and legal costs. You will not have to pay anything. Do you wish to have an attorney appointed to represent you on the appeal? No. Appeals are specialized actions, and Court of Appeals is very sticky with their rules. They're very strict, and this is a real specialty with someone who knows how to write good appeals. I met with you before when you were here before, and we met not in chambers, but in the holding cell area. It's all on the record, what I'm referring to, and I advised you that it really is in your best interest, I believe, to have a lawyer represent you on appeal, and you indicated at that time that you don't want a lawyer to represent you on appeal. I'd really encourage you to do it. I think it's in your best.
At the end, the judge is trying to protect Shayna's rights, urging her to take a lawyer for her appeal. But she refuses. It's almost tragic. You see someone fighting the system but hurting themselves the most.
You're excused. You're remanded to the custody of the sheriff to be delivered to the Arizona Department of Corrections to fulfill a sentence.
How much time?
Hold on a second. What?
How much time did he give me? He just said a whole bunch of numbers.
Yeah, you can take them. You're excused. Thank you. Good luck. All right. I'm not having the defendant step forward to sign for notification of her rights and to sign the judgment in this particular case. She's consistently throughout all the proceedings in the Justice Court and in this court as to whenever required to do so or asked to do so, refused to sign anything. So that would be fruitless to ask her to do that. But the record will reflect that I've advised her of her right to appeal, the right to have an attorney represent her on appeal, and I think that's all we're going to do. And I don't see any point in having her trying to sign these documents. That's just not going to happen.
I don't either.
I think it'd just be disruptive to the court proceeding.
This ending says it all. The judge won't even bother asking her to sign the paperwork because she always refuses. It's symbolic. A defendant who never really participates in her own defense now faces the ultimate consequence: years behind bars.